everyone, for my first critique, I'm going to be looking at Desmos for its still images. Desmos is a math graphing tool that can create still images. You may think this is something that can only be used in math classrooms, but if you scroll down on the home page, it shows you creative art that people can make using this program. I think this could be extremely useful in a digital design or art class or an elementary or middle school class as well. I use it on my smartboard regularly and encourage my students to use it because it is a free resource. Many students can't afford a graphing calculator, so I encourage them to use this at home as a supplement. You even can click here, Scientific Calculator, and it will provide you with one with sine, cosine, tangent, natural logarithms, and such that is used in most high school math classes. Also on the home page, which I find to be extremely helpful, is the Classroom Activities button. If you click this, it'll bring you to a page that has activities already created, the time it should take to complete, already created by other teachers. It bundles them into different areas, conics, exponential expressions, etc., for someone who may not be tech savvy enough to create it on their own. Now, exploring how to use Desmos as still images, if you click Start Graphing, I'm already logged on, which was a free account. All you needed was a username and password. You can name your graph, and you can begin by typing in an equation. You can use your own keyboard, or you can use the keyboard down here. Here I created the line y equals 2x plus 4, which has a slope of 2 and a y-intercept of 4. But sometimes I want to show my students how transforming this line can change what the graph looks like. So I can type y equals mx plus b, which has a slope of m and a y-intercept of b. Something nice about Desmos is they easily create sliders, which allows me to alter what the graph looks like. By clicking this button, I'm going to get rid of my original red line. I can show my students how the y-intercept affects the graph by increasing or decreasing it, how the slope affects the graph by increasing or decreasing as well. I have used other programs that have allowed me to create sliders, but not in such a quick way. Other things that Desmo allows you to use by clicking Add Item is it allows you to add notes, tables, folders, and other images. So you have images on your computer, you can upload them to your graph. If you click this button up here, it gives you examples of graphs that other teachers have already made. For instance, if I click line, slope, intercept, form, it'll take me to a graph similar to the one I just made, but already created by another teacher. So if I'm not familiar with how to use Desmos yet, I can still utilize the program by using examples that other teachers have made. When it comes to exporting it to my students, I can share my graph either by sharing a link, printing it, exporting the image, or embedding it onto one of my websites. I can get help with how to create sliders, tables, restrictions, regressions, etc. through different tours, and it also has video tutorials and user guides to help people that are new to the program. You also can change the language if necessary. When it comes to the multimedia rubric, I would say this is a possible use for the ease flexibility for supportive multimodal communication. If you're a math teacher, I recommend you use it. But if not, I don't think that it offers an extreme amount of flexibility for creating different modes of communication. When it comes to being user-friendly, I find this to be a must recommend. It's easily labeled, as you can see. It has a help button ready to go. You can change the language very easily, and it also has the examples ready to go for your use whenever necessary. I find them extremely easy to find as well. You can also save your previous graphs on your user account. For snapshots and examples, I also have this as a must-use for math teachers. Between the tours and the examples on the home page and the video tutorials and user guide in the Help Center, I find this extremely useful for people to get screenshots and to get examples on how to use this, especially if you go to the video tutorials here. For reliability, I consider this a must-use. As you can see, it is very quick, and also, I've never had it that it was broken down. Every time that I've went to use it in class, it has always been up and running. For the free aspect, I also consider this a must-use. It is a free account, and there's no options to pay. All of the features are used as part of the free account. As you can see here, I have my email linked, I have account settings, and I'm signed in to be able to save different graphs to my account. For the safety use, I would say this as a must-use. You have a password, and you can control who your audience is when you send it. There's no ads, as you can see from the home page. There is no extra ads other than at the bottom to connect via social media. Lastly, for time, I find this to be extremely user-friendly and a good use of my time when trying to create graphs for my students. It's very easy to use, and I've never considered this to be a waste of my time, and I don't feel that I put in more effort creating it than using in my classroom. I hope this helps. I consider this to be a must-use, especially for math teachers.